Okay, I wanted to go over just a few things really quickly for Lab 10 for diodes. First of all, make sure when you're doing this lab to be able to identify which end is the anode and the cathode. The cathode is this little end with the black band on the right, and the anode is on the left. So this is the orientation you want to have when you're doing these labs to make sure that the black band on the diode on the right is the same as the line on the left. For this first part, we're going to have the 3 diodes in series, and I'll show you how to set that up on the breadboard. So this is an example of how you could wire this with a resistor and the 3 diodes in series. Note, I think in the lab it calls out for a 470 ohm resistor. If you have a 330 ohm, that's fine too. So for the last part of the lab, you're going to need to use 2 outputs of the power supply, but have both of the power grounds connected together. And I'll show you how to arrange this on the power supply. So you'll notice there are 2 voltages required for this last part of the lab, V1 and V2. And what that refers to are the positive connections on the power supply. So for example, for the first one, you're going to set V1 to 12 volts and V2 to 5 volts. So let's go ahead and set that up. Okay, and then what you're going to do is take the red terminal of the first one and go to the top diode. That's this point right here on the circuit. And the bottom one, we're going to use the second output, positive output, and go to the second diode right there. So that's what our circuit looks like. So in this case, what you're going to do though is you're going to leave the second voltage at 5 volts, but change the first voltage and make some measurements to see what the voltages are across R1. So in the first case, it's going to be 12 volts and 5 volts, and then V1 is going to be 8 volts, and then finally V1 is 4 volts.